work is an opportunity to create and provide and change perspective, change outlook, and provide value too. I am selfishly very happy that it's a platform and a business model that I appreciate and can stand behind, especially from a sustainability perspective. That really, really matters deeply to me. Hi everyone, I'm Christina and I'm currently the Associate Director of Retention at Poshmark. I head up our retention marketing team, which owns our own channel comm strategy and all of the operations getting a comm from ideation to execution. Total years of work at Poshmark, 8. Total years in the workforce, I think is about 10. Ooh, big question. I think specifically with Poshmark, because we're a e-commerce and social marketplace for fashion, the fashion industry is one of the largest polluters in the environment in general. And to extend the life cycle of a garment like this, for example, I got on Poshmark to buy something secondhand. A lot of people will just either throw their clothes away or donate them to Goodwill, where most of those clothes actually end up in landfill. And this is a way to have peer-to-peer connection and enable someone to purchase something either they couldn't otherwise afford or is no longer made in stock, or discover new things that they didn't think were available. So I love it. Work is an opportunity for me to share my knowledge and actually create something. With social media and with things in general, there's this big concept of creating and consuming. So how much time are you spent consuming content and how much time are you spending creating content? And I think work is an opportunity to create and provide and change perspective, change outlook, and provide value too. Yeah, I think connection is a big one. Connection and the opportunity to see something through another person's perspective and lens. There's also the potential for loss of time to social media, so it kind of comes with pros and cons, and I do think at the end of the day it should be used responsibly. I have time limits on my Instagram and all of my social apps to make sure that I'm spending time not in front of a screen, but outside and in front of people. Take a step back. Earlier on when I joined Poshmark, we were a very small marketing team and we kind of did a little bit of everything. Back then it was just all under product marketing, and as we scaled, the depth and breadth of marketing needs and positions scaled too. So I went from product marketing to marketing operations, which product marketing is how are we communicating our product to our customers. So think of, here's how to purchase an item on Poshmark, here's how to list an item on Poshmark, here are the features that our product is providing to you. We didn't have anyone that was really focusing on our marketing operations and our processes and the back-end tools that are enabling that. So I got into creating the marketing operations team and org, and that's looking at, we have this email, we want to send it to our audience. How do we code the email? How do we make sure that everything is displaying correctly across all of these different devices? How do we select the eligible audience that this email makes sense to send to? And then what are the tools that we have? And what is the health of those tools and systems? And then now, when we take an even bigger step, our team is under the retention umbrella. We're looking at how are we communicating with our users and how are we serving them in our community. So are we notifying you when you have an offer on your item, or are we making sure that you're aware that sharing items helps them get visibility, or if you have more photos on a listing or a better description that'll help you make a sale. So we're really looking at the opportunities of, you've done this action on our platform and we know that if you do this action you'll be more successful. How can we communicate that to you? And then when we think of retention, we want to make sure that if you're coming onto our platform that you're successful, and then that you're coming back and discovering other things or are able to make sales. So how good are we at helping you do those things and retaining you as a customer and serving you as a platform? I do, yeah. I enjoy the work and the people that I work with currently. For me, it was really important when I was selecting my career and my jobs to have a personal connection to the company that I was working for. And after discovering Poshmark as a platform and seeing all of the content that the head of social media at the time was creating, I could see that the people there were really great. There were a lot of women that worked there, which isn't the typical environment in tech. Usually it's a highly male-dominated industry. I was able to work in an area which I really enjoy, which is fashion. And I remember when I first started as a product marketing associate, I was telling my boss, like, I can't believe that I get to research fashion trends and include them in content. Like, this is insane. I didn't ever picture that my job would be something that I would enjoy this much. So it helps that the topic of work that you're doing is something that you enjoy, and then also the people that you work with are supportive and you enjoy their company too, which everyone that I encountered, it was a lot of women who I really respected, and our leaders were people that I thought were incredibly smart and also approachable and kind. We have a open floor work plan, and our CEO was coming up to us, and saying, hi, good morning. Like, it wasn't an intimidating office culture. It was one where you were encouraged to be yourself, which was very nice. I think the marriage of the two is really important. So if you have all of the skills and are perfect on paper, but can't collaborate with people or aren't able to communicate your ideas or deliver on those skills, then you can't really go anywhere. And then if you, on the other side, are great at collaborating and working with people, but can't actually deliver on the projects, then you're going to be also in a difficult position. So I think the marriage of your skill set and knowledge and also being able to work with others and be on a team are really, really successful and integral to growth and being successful. I would relate it back to runner's high, and it's that feeling when everything kind of clicks and you have that feeling of euphoria and excitement, or when you're in the zone or in the flow. I've had that in sports. I used to be a student athlete and an athlete back in the day, long time ago. But that feeling when you've connected to what you're doing and you feel really integrated in what you're doing. That's how I would describe the worker's high. I would say, imagine the life that you want to have and the work that you want to do, and without anyone's opinion. So just think about yourself, what would make you happy, and then find people who are doing that job. If it's in tech, if it's a doctor, go speak to them and understand what their day-to-day looks like, and try to start to understand what it would take to get to that place, and figure out what your strengths are and also what areas you could invest in and fix, and be super open to feedback and really be honest about, am I going closer in that direction, or do I have this dream and it's not much of a reality? Like, if you want to be a physicist but you're actually really bad at math, perhaps then you kind of have to make some concessions. But do all of that research and talk to people, because people face to face are always going to give you a better picture of what it really means to be in that work and in that role. I think it's important to accept responsibility and know that it's always okay to apologize or recognize someone's emotions. People's emotions are valid. They're going to have emotions. If you've misstepped, to recognize that, oh, that was a misstep. I'm sorry that I didn't deliver this with care, or that I communicated this in a way that, made you feel very vulnerable or very upset. That wasn't my intention. Like, it's very important to look at intent. And sometimes you can have the correct intent, but it's the wrong action and it has a poor outcome. A way that it's been explained to me is, okay, I did something and I stepped on your foot. And I didn't mean to step on your foot, but for the other person, it still hurt. Regardless of if I meant to or not, I'm stepping on someone's foot. So recognizing that their feelings and their emotions are valid and trying to approach them as a person. Like, leadership can often be like, oh, I'm your manager, it's very scary. I'm a person too, and I also have feelings and thoughts and emotions, and I want to be cautious and respectful of other people's too. Buy secondhand. You'll save some money and it's so much cooler. There's so much joy and delight and discovery too. Like, you're never gonna find, you might find a couple of the same things. Like, certainly there are tons of things that are listed from different resellers, but it's like that vintage, the special stuff that's really fun to find. And my favorite thing to do is when someone says, hey, where'd you get that? And I go, I got it on Poshmark. Yeah, or it's vintage,